Hey everybody, Jason Newman here. I wanted to give you an update. It's been a little while since I made any kind of post. The reason for that is this right here. This is what I'm working on, but this is for a future video. Hopefully this will be something that improves my workflow. More on that to come. I wanted to make an intro to what you're about to see because on May 31st, there was an event called Cosplay Healing Theory, which was kind of like a mini convention that was themed toward using cosplay as a means to benefit one's mental and emotional health. The charity that I belong to, Superhero Support Incorporated, they were going to be in attendance, and the leadership reached out to me and said, hey, we know that you make shields. And that seems to us like a place that you expend a lot of your mental energies in a healthy way. Would you like to give a presentation? And I thought about it. I had never given a presentation before, so I was flattered to ask, and I like to try new things. So I said yes, after thinking about what this project has done for me mentally and emotionally. Even entering the Captain America community, it gives me a place where I can go and be among like-minded people who are passionate about something that I'm passionate about. I've got to talk to so many people from so many different places. A few of them I legitimately think of as my friends. I feel like I've contributed to the community in certain ways, finding things that people couldn't find, and making replica shields, of course. So yeah, that was all. I said yes, and I put together a 30-minute presentation. It was okay. I'm a little rough around the edges, but I did it. And I afterwards asked the people who put on the event if I could have the footage of my presentation for posting on my social media. And they said yes. What I got was about 20 some odd clips chopped up. So I did not get the entire 30 minutes. I got what looks like it's intended for a series of shorts for YouTube. They're vertically oriented, and they have subtitles that the videos came with that. So that's what it is. It's about 15 minutes long, so enjoy. Thank you for the intro, and everybody, thank you for coming. I am Jason Newman, aka Newman Assembles. If I'm known for anything on the internet, it would be for making Captain America shield replicas that are fairly close. It's probably the closest that you could get to holding one of the props that you use in the movie. A little bit about me. I'm, by profession, a graphic designer. I'm a giant Marvel fan. Ever since I was a kid, more Marvel than DC, but I do like DC as well. And then particularly the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The way that they have interpreted the characters, for the most part, for the screen, I am a real fan of, especially Captain America. Out of curiosity, I wanted to know what neurochemicals would help with problem solving, and as it turns out, if you go to the next slide, it's exactly the same thing. So when you think about it, what is making something, if not solving a problem? Because I'm always chasing that. If anybody makes anything, there's something of like I call it the eureka moment, where you get like an aha feeling. That is a natural high that I am always chasing, and I have been since I was a kid, but I didn't know how to verbalize it until I started thinking about it in this way. And I didn't know how much I wanted to hold a screen-use Captain America shield until I had the opportunity. So I paid my 2 bits, and there I am holding. Spoiler alert: that's not a screen-use Captain America shield. What I know now, I don't know if they know it. But that's not one of the screen-used shields. But that didn't matter. That was enough for me to get that feeling that I'm actually holding the thing that Steve Rogers or Chris Evans was holding. And I've kind of been chasing that feeling ever since. So much so that in August 2021, that's when I got the birthday gift replica of the Captain America shield. And again, I was ecstatic. And I put it on the wall. It came with Steve's compass. So I had to get a shelf to put the compass on. The shelf looked bare. I got a Captain America statue. I felt it still looked bare, so I got a helmet. Now I'm starting to get a little collection going. And I also joined Facebook groups for Captain America fans who like to do the same kind of things that I do. So now I'm entering into a community of like-minded people. And instead of doom scrolling on the internet or getting in arguments with people, I'm actually talking to people who will want to make something and put something positive out there. But I upgraded the straps on the back, and I found the screen accurate buckles that they use. And people in the community didn't know the proper buckles. So now I started to feel like I'm contributing to the community by saying, guys, I found this. There were other little doodads that I found that other people couldn't find. So I had a feeling of I'm actually contributing. I'm naturally not someone who likes to get attention. But I was inspired by everybody, and it seemed like they were all having so much fun. So I went to the Cosplay Con in Richmond, which it's a very small convention, but it's a good place to get your feet wet if you never did cosplay before. I did that, and that's me in costume, and it was fun, but I could tell that I was feeling a little awkward inside the costume. I'm not used to, at this point, used to people coming up and asking me to take photos. If you see the photos, my poses are very stilted, but it was fun. And I had learned so much about the shields that in late October, I decided I wanted to try to make my own that had all of the features that were missing in the other shields that people were making. I did it because I just wanted to see if I could do it. And by May 2023, I finished it. That's version 1 of a completed Captain America shield, and it's riddled with errors, but I finished it. Then June 2023, we went to AwesomeCon. That changed everything. I was walking around as Captain America with my shield, and that fan lit up like Christmas when he saw me. And of course, take the picture, it's fun, but it unlocked a memory that I had when I was a kid. We used to watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Back in the late 80s, for a couple of years, they would have a Marvel float. And I remember we used to tape the parade, and for days afterwards, I would cue up the tape and watch just the part with the Marvel float on it. Because my heroes were real, finally. They were off the page and they were in person. They weren't in the room with me, but I would have given anything to be on that float with them and meet them. And now I'm doing that for this kid, this fan. It affected me in a positive way more than I was expecting it to, so much so that afterwards, Brian, who founded Superhero Support, he is in some of the Captain America groups that I'm in. So I reached out to him, and I ended up in September 23 joining Superhero Support, and I've been making appearances as Captain America since. So next slide. So in the previous thing, I mentioned some replica makers that were not as screen accurate as I wanted them to be. I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea and think that I'm saying that those are bad replicas. Making a replica is hard work. Making a replica, the only way I can think of to describe it is the Marvel prop department, or the prop department on any movie, takes their bow and arrow and they shoot it at a wall, and it lands generally in the center, which is an achievement. The community goes up to that wall and paints a bullseye around the target. And they go, they did it perfect. And if you want to make a replica, you are trying to split their arrow with your arrow. That's what it feels like trying to make a replica. It's really hard. And I don't enjoy when people say things like, failure is okay, don't be afraid of failure, and mistakes are fine. Mistakes, they feel awful. I don't like making mistakes. I embrace them because it's just something you have to do, but if I could, I wouldn't make any more mistakes. But mistakes are an opportunity to help you grow. They bring us together. Anything that goes wrong is a funny story later, as long as nobody got hurt. If you talk to people, I mean, it happens a lot with bonding. You can talk about anything that went wrong with your car, anything that repair on your house that went wrong. How did you build your cosplay? Well, this thing fell off when I was in the cosplay. I had to emergency repair it. You have things to talk about, all because mistakes happen. Sometimes you even discover a way to fix things when you make a mistake. If everything was perfect, everything would be very boring. People want to help. We are telling my daughter, who's now 10, and she's getting interested in social media, And I'm telling her, social media is not the playground that it is promised to be. But you can make it work for you. On YouTube, Facebook groups, online forums, there is a community out there, a world out there of people tripping over each other to help other people that they will never meet. You can learn almost anything on YouTube. I learned how to replace the drum of my dryer because somebody had a broken dryer and they decided, I'm going to set up my video camera and show it to other people. Nearly every skill that I have to make the Captain America shield, I didn't have before, and I only have it because I went to what I nicknamed YouTube University. Everybody in the Captain America Facebook groups that I was talking about, if you put out a question, you will get 10 to 36 replies because people want to help other people. And for me, support is vital. This project wouldn't have happened if I had a girlfriend that thought it was kind of stupid. I probably still would do it, but my mental state would not be what it is. Having somebody support my daughter tries to play like she's too cool for school with this, but then when I'm tinkering with the shield, she actually wants to help. I have a friend online that I met who, I've never met him, and I've never spoken to him, but I talk to him almost every day via Facebook Messenger. And he is one of my favorite people to talk to about this. And at one point I said, are you getting tired of me talking about this? And he was never, not for a second. So the community support, all of that really helps. Before this project, I was creative, and these are my skills. I could edit photos, I could do some illustrations. I'm a graphic designer, and from my job I learned how to do motion graphics. This is all a good skill set that would keep me busy well into retirement and beyond. When you take on a project that you don't know how to do without realizing it, you will learn skills that are applicable to other things. If you do the next slide. These are all the skills I learned after taking on the Shield project. I didn't know how to do any of them 2 years ago. And it turns out I really like leatherwork. I really like networking. I really like cosplay. I just got a 3D printer that's going to unlock doors for things like for an example, let me put this to the side. I 3D modeled a negative of the back. And the way that I make it is I coat this in resin, and you'll see later there's a little bit of footage. This gets put on top of the disc. Now I had a catastrophic failure not too long ago, so now this is unusable. But I have a 3D printer, so I'm making lemonade. I'm going to 3D print my own with improvements that this doesn't have that'll make my job easier. So that's what that is the goal. How do I turn this into that? Next. So here is everything in terms of materials that it takes to make one of those blank discs the Captain America shield. We can start playing the video. So we start with a disc. Oh, we have sound. That's great. 16 screws, 16 T-nuts, 4 different types of screws, some buckles, some custom, I call those couplers. I don't know what they're actually called. Custom tri-glides. Marvel doesn't do anything simple. Everything with Marvel is either modified to make it hard to find, or they custom make it. So one thing phrase that really helped with my mental state with making things I learned a long time ago is called don't blame the tools. If you do anything creative, back when I would do art, it's nice to go, well, the reason I can't draw as good as that person can draw is because I don't have that person's marker. Yeah. No, that's not right. If only I had the proper saw, I would be able to do that. If don't blame the tools. Yes, it is possible that if you have the nicer tool, you will do a nicer job. But that doesn't mean you have to totally do absolutely nothing. One of the things up here is called the Shield Pizza Slicer. One of the shields I'm working on right now is the Sam Wilson version of the shield. Sam Wilson's shield has 2 thinner grooves in between the silver and a hidden one in the outermost red ring. I wanted to make them on my own, so I made my own tool because these didn't exist. I nicknamed it the Shield Pizza Slicer. It's a ceramic disc that's used to cut ceramic tiles, and this handle is for leather work, to lay your stitching holes down. Well, I decided I wanted it to be something else, so I made it something else. But I am great at misusing tools for purposes they were not intended for. One day they're going to do an autopsy on me and they're going to find out I have the arteries of a World War II veteran because of this step. That is polished aluminum, and that thing likes to kick like a mule when I'm doing it. That's why I have gorilla taped it down, and even sometimes that doesn't stop it. And if I make a mistake, I have to polish the shield all over again and do it again. I sweat like I am running a marathon in 98% humidity when I'm doing this. Next. But there's always things that need to be touched up. Spray paint is a skill in itself.
Yes, it is.
And I'm using anodized spray paint, which means you can see the material through it. Now I start doing, while the spray paint cures, I work on the leather. By hand. And again, I will point out, while I'm doing all of this, I'm not wasting time. I'm not doom scrolling. I'm not arguing with somebody who said something I didn't like on the internet. I'm doing productive things with my time now.
This is good.
And I'm currently, my videos, because I don't want to just, hey, look, it's a Captain America show. I actually want to help people know about problem solving, so they're more geared towards, this is the process by which I'm doing something. And since I'm replacing this at the moment, when this is done, I'm going to make a whole video that shows all the improvements I made to the back.